The Yeti Radio, powered by DavidLeeImaging.com. David Lee Imaging in the Titletown Music Archive and the Live 365 app. Welcome to the Backstage Lounge on the YetiRadio.com.
Don't fuck it up.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Sunday afternoon right here on the YetiRadio.com in the Backstage Lounge. Tonight, let me get the mask out of the way. We have Znora all the way up from Tucson. They had a busy weekend, and we're going to have a lot of fun and find out about these guys. But we'll start off with one of their new songs off of their new album called Feel right here in the Backstage Lounge on the YetiRadio.com.
Came before. Don't listen to the devil, baby. Oh, darkness, it clouds your mind. Oh, it takes and leaves you behind. Well, let it soar. It's a feeling in my heart. Forevermore. It's a feeling.
It's the YetiRadio.com, live in the Backstage Lounge with Znora, all the way up from Tucson. You guys had a tough weekend, all the way from Barrett Jackson to, what was it, Saturday?
It was
Tempe Marketplace.
Yeah, Tempe, that's it. And then the rock and roll,
we speak.
Sorry, microphones. Got to cover all the bases.
Yeah.
Oh, man. You guys are having one of my weekends. It's been crazy.
Man, yeah, it's busy.
Wow. I've seen you guys a couple times at Mesa Music Festival. And then over at Buddy Stubbs for Bike Week.
Yeah.
That was awesome. You guys put on a great show.
Oh, thank you.
So how long has Znora been Znora?
This is us over here.
Yeah.
2019, me and Adrian met at a music summer camp.
Okay.
It was like a 2-week camp on the second Friday of the second week, or I guess the second Friday of the 2 weeks. You know what I'm trying to say. We'd have a performance, so you only get 2 weeks to prepare and everything. And there was us and this other guy, and everyone's like, "You guys should form a band," and eventually we did. So, and then COVID happened because this was 2019. The end of like our first show was Halloween, so that's kind of what we consider our band anniversary. And then COVID happened not too long after, so we kind of had like a 1.5 year break. But then I would say we've been really active since 2021. And Johnny joined us in 2020.
I joined in 2023. Yeah, so I'm a newer addition to the band, but me and Adrian had the same guitar teacher. Okay. And so when they were looking for a new bassist, he recommended me, and then we got together and went from there.
Because you guys are running the same look too. So
I was like, yeah, people think we're like twins all the time, but we are not related.
Well, I was going to say brothers or cousins.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see, Mr. Adrian Negrete.
Negrete.
Negrete, okay. And then we have Josh Montano.
Montano, yeah.
Montano. And then Johnny Rode.
Rhodey.
Okay.
Almost.
I'm just going to screw them all up today.
It's all good, man.
Two names where you can or can't pronounce the last word, and I didn't pronounce them. And we were supposed to this time. So let's see, 2019, and you came in 23. Mm-hmm. How'd you come up with Znora? I know personally, but
I just let them all know.
So I'm a big fan of Jimi Hendrix, and Jimi Hendrix's grandma's name was Znora with like an E, and I took it out because I thought it looked cooler. I took the E out, so it's just Znora, and then also kind of like Sonora, like Sonoran Desert. So it's kind of like that's basically the story of Zonora, the name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Totally awesome. Let's see. So what's your biggest highlight so far?
Biggest highlights?
I mean, I think ZZ Top.
Probably,
for all
yeah.
of us, probably. I mean, we played with ZZ Top on October 25th of last year, so not too long ago, and that was amazing because we got that because we have played venues like Rialto 191 Tool, and we were recommended. So it wasn't like something where we got given to us or anything. It was like us just playing a lot of shows and getting our name out there, and we're like, oh, these guys would be a good fit for this show. Yeah,
and it was really awesome. We were treated like, maybe not necessarily to the level of ZZ Top, but to like as a big artist, and that was awesome. So I was wondering, like, it would be amazing to have shows like that all the time because it was such an amazing experience.
Yeah, because I mean, Johnny's 17.
Yeah,
I'm 18, and Josh is 21.
Probably
just turned 17.
Yeah. To be honest, I'm probably the youngest person that's been on that stage, if not definitely one of the youngest.
But yeah, so like we definitely get treated like kids because we basically are, but not really.
Right. No, I got you. Well, good thing I hung the band down and hit all the alcohol.
No, we can see over there.
Damn. So what's your philosophy behind your music writing?
I mean, that's a good question. A lot of stuff. It's either stuff that I experience in life, or kind of just stories that I come up with, and I mean I do all the lyricists and melodies and all that good stuff, and I come with an idea most of the time, or like a riff or something like that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people start exactly. Sometimes have like an exact poem or whatever to create the song, which is awesome. But I'm kind of different. I kind of do the music first. The music is what comes to me more naturally, and then I kind of put whatever's happening or a story or something to it. We kind of just. I come with an idea.
Yeah, we
jam it out.
Like
a 5-minute jam. Well, it's like a minute jam, and then it turns into a 5-minute jam, and then it turns into a 5-minute song.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we kind of just play until we find something that we think lands and sounds good. So, it's pretty flexible, pretty authentic, I would say.
Absolutely. And you guys always look like you're having fun on stage.
Oh, we are definitely.
So, who are some of your musical influences?
Go ahead, John.
All right, I'll go first, I guess. So I'm a really me and Adrian both especially. We're really into 70s music, and as a bass player, I've been, especially in the last year and a half, I've been really getting into a lot of like 70s funk and soul stuff, because to me that's where the best bass lines are. And so I'd say some of my biggest influences are Louis Johnson. He's from Brothers Johnson. He did a lot of like Michael Jackson bass lines. That's probably what he's most famous for. And then I also really like Bootsy Collins too. He's a big influence to me. But there's a lot of other artists where I might not exactly know who the bass player is, but there are songs where I'm like, oh, that's a really cool bass line. I want to learn that, see how I can put that into my playing in some sort of way.
Okay.
Yeah. I like a lot of 90s stuff. So I love Chili Peppers are one of my favorite bands. So I love like Chad Smith from the Chili Peppers. I love Dave Grohl's 90s Nirvana drumming. That's like super hard and everything. I love Taylor Hawkins from the Foo Fighters, former drummer, of course. Mainly 90s stuff, but I love like 70s stuff, 80s stuff, 60s, everything.
Yeah, so I'd say, I kind of agree with Johnny. I love funk, but I'm also a very big blues man. That's kind of how I started playing guitar. So I'm Stevie Ray Vaughan. I'm obviously Jimmy Page, Hendrix. Those are all massive influences. I like this dude. His name is Philip Stacey. He's kind of like a modern Stevie Ray Vaughan. He's a pretty cool dude. And Jared James Nichols is another kind of guy. He kind of looks like Zach Wilde. He's like this big old Viking looking dude. And so I'd say like all those influences kind of come together and kind of make like a throwback feel, like a throwback to that classic rock and the 70s and feel like that, but then also with like some modern feel and our own twist, our own style, as you could say.
I'd say it's like retro, but it's also like unique,
Right.
It's something where you can think of bands that we sound like, but whenever people are like, oh, you sound like this band, it's never just the same band. We always get like a wide variety of bands because we're something unique. We're our own thing.
Right.
We have our own style.
Yeah, we try to.
Yeah, we try.
So tell me about Feel. How'd it come about?
How did it come about?
It was
like
it just happened kind of.
Yeah.
It was a one
and I was like.
Yeah, so I just started playing that intro riff, that beginning riff, and we kind of just made it like it was weird.
Like
it was
one
kind
practice,
of like one
I'm
of
pretty sure.
Yeah, it was kind of one of those days where everything just clicked, everything aligned, and it was it came together pretty quickly. I'd say, like the music for sure.
Yeah. And actually, like when we recorded it, we never played it live at that point. We only like practiced it. And our producer was like, oh, I really love the way the drums sound. We need to try to record as much as we can. Is there anything else that you have that you would want to record right now? Because, the next time we came to the studio, it might not sound exactly the same. So we're like, okay, we can mess around with this. If we don't really like the way it came out, then, we might re-record it again later. But we recorded it, and that's like probably like the best we've ever played it, or one of the best we've ever played it. So I'm really happy with how it came out.
Yeah, it was funny because we weren't even going to do it. We weren't even going to like record it because we were still kind of working on it. And then we said, screw it, let's do it. So
let's throw it together real quick.
Yeah.
What studio do you guys use?
It's SEMA Music.
Okay.
SEMA Music Studio. He's a cool dude down in Tucson. Yeah. Ricky is his name.
I think we've conversed a couple of times. He's sent some Music My Way.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Let's see. Do you have any pre-show rituals?
That's a good question.
I mean, coffee. We love
Sometimes,
to
yeah.
get coffee.
Yeah, especially if we're kind of tired, chug a coffee right before the show. It gives us that energy, go crazy.
I guess I don't know if we would say we'd have like a pre-show ritual.
Yeah.
But we always come together in like a little huddle and kind of check on each other and are like, are we ready to do this? Kind of like a pre-game, like let's go. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Bring the energy kind of situation. Yeah. But nothing where like we throw up and put it in our pockets. Anything wild.
nothing crazy like that.
No cutting chickens' heads off before the show.
Exactly.
I haven't found a really off the wall or weird one yet, so I'm still looking. I'll keep asking.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll find one someday.
I don't know. I think Kiss, Ozzy, and Alice are. I don't think anybody's doing that anymore.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody can beat that either.
What makes you guys unique?
I mean, I'd say maybe just like, we have multiple different influences, but we kind of all piece it together in a way that we all feel that some aspect of our influences can kind of shine. So I think it's more just like a big melting pot of influences and ideas and stuff. But I don't know. What do you guys say?
Yeah, I mean that, like me having like a different inspirations than you guys. Like me being mostly into 90s stuff, but also loving 70s and 80s rock, of course. But like, yeah, and I think also what you're saying, like most people are like, we've gotten like, oh, you guys sound like Greta Van Fleet, or you guys sound like Led Zeppelin, or you guys sound like, I mean, people have said like you sound like Freddie Mercury.
Yeah. I don't know how much I see that, but I'll take it as a compliment.
Yeah. So like, I don't know, we get a lot of different things, and so I think that's a level of uniqueness. No one's like, oh, you sound only like this.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I would say, yeah, like, it's, yeah.
What's your favorite song to perform?
That is a good question.
I'm about to think about that for a second. I mean, I would say we definitely like, I mean, at least me for sure, I definitely like playing our originals out of, everything more than covers. But one of our newer songs, Janice, that will be on the new album, I've been really enjoying playing that one so far. We've only played it a couple times live, but the bass line's really fun, and it's a really interesting song. Like the songwriting, the structure of it's pretty, not really strange, but it's definitely, I don't know, something unique and cool, I think.
It's like funk.
It's kind of like a funk rock song almost, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'd have to agree with him, to be honest. That one is I really enjoy playing it, because it's kind of complicated.
Yeah.
It's a little difficult to play.
Yeah, like for me, I'd say that's our hardest song for me so far. I mean, eventually I'm sure I'll make something harder.
But so it's also kind of fun because it's like decently challenging for me to like play and sing it and have it going. So I would say for sure that's definitely. I mean, nobody's really heard it yet, but
yeah, only a few people have heard it. So
I mean, we did play it this morning, but
yeah,
not many people heard it. So yeah. I mean, honestly, I really like Janice too, but I might have to say Phil. I really like
really
Phil.
Fun too.
Like it still has like new song energy. We released it, September.
Yeah, man.
We were in New York when we released it. Wow. But I mean, it's still newish, I love playing that one.
Yeah, and like for me, that one it's a more simple bass line, but that kind of adds another element of fun to it because I don't have to think as much about what I'm playing. I can kind of just jump around, check out what they're doing, check out the audience, have fun while I'm up there playing because it feels like muscle memory at this point.
Yeah.
Right. So not necessarily on a bad note, but is there a song that's hard to play or a song you would rather not play? Not because you don't like it.
I can definitely think of one off the top of my head.
Just because of maybe the level of technicality put into it, or
yeah, I mean, there's this one song. It's one of our own. It's called Hindsight, and I think it was the first original that we ever did anything with, or came out with or anything. But Yeah, there's just something about that song that we just don't love, like, playing it, you know. And I think people decently, you know, people like it enough. But yeah, to be honest, we don't really play that song.
Yeah, I don't know. And to be honest, I'm not exactly sure what it is about the song that I'm not as much of a fan of. Cause like I think the chorus is pretty good, the structure is pretty good, but
It's
I don't know.
funky,
It doesn't.
too.
Yeah, but it doesn't have like that energy for me. I don't know.
I feel like also
Yeah.
because it's so old.
Yeah, maybe that's part of what it is. It's because it's like such an older song. Definitely newer songs we're a lot more excited for playing.
Yeah,
It's
Right.
more fun.
just like the first song you make as a band usually isn't the best, you
Yeah.
know. So I think it's also just that, and like we're like scared to play it too because we don't play it. We're
Yeah,
like,
so
dude,
we're
remember
like,
how to play
oh, we're
it?
gonna mess this up. We don't play it usually, so
Yeah, but then we don't practice it either. So
Right.
yeah.
That can cause problems. Let's see. What's have you been on any tours yet,
I mean,
or
what were
it
you doing in
depends
New
what
York?
you were to tour as, I guess. You know.
yeah, we've definitely traveled a decent amount, done like a couple shows, you know, over like sometimes we go to California, we'll be there for like a week, 2 weeks. Well, no, maybe more like a week. Then we'll come back, go back for another week or something.
Yeah.
But I don't know if
during the summer.
yeah, mostly during summer to escape this heat,
Only
man.
really.
Oof.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know if I'd really classify that as like a tour
Right.
Yeah.
because you know we'll be gone for a week, but we might only have like 3, 4, maybe like 5 shows all in like a similar area. So we're not really
Okay.
like traveling like across state lines or anything.
Right.
But
Yeah, so because I guess you could technically say that we kind of tour all the
yeah,
time.
because we're always playing
I
out of
guess.
Tucson, so
Yeah, because
Well.
we're like always playing, but
Yeah.
it's not necessarily what you would think of like where we're like going with ZZ Top or say
Yeah.
Yeah,
if you go
on like a
to
tour through
New
like
Mexico, Texas,
Yeah,
Louisiana.
exactly.
Once you start getting
yeah. Once we start getting a couple states, I think I'd call that a tour for sure.
once you get out of surrounding states.
Yes, exactly.
definitely.
Okay. Well, you guys were in New York. What was?
Oh, yeah.
What was up there?
So it was we were up there for a festival actually in Brooklyn.
Okay.
This group asked us to if we wanted to come out and be part of the festival.
Yeah.
It's called Atlantic Annick Festival. And we were like, yeah, we've never been to New York. We want to do that.
Yeah, of
Heck
course,
yeah, man. So we flew out there, spent a couple days, you know, just messing around, checking out New
Yeah.
York, and we played at the Bitter End.
Yeah.
We played at the Bitter End, which is pretty famous for like Bob Dylan and whoever, you know,
Okay.
everyone's played there. And then the Atlantic Annick Festival, and it was just a really fun experience to go out there and just be part of this little festival.
Yeah.
Even though like necessarily, you know, we kind of paid for all that out of pocket, but
Yeah, it was worth it, I
I think
think.
it was worth it, you know.
Hey, yeah, we all know about paying for out of pocket.
Yep.
But that's how it starts. And,
Yeah.
Exactly.
and most of the time, that's usually how it stays. But I do know from just interviews and whatnot, festivals, when you're new and fresh and vibrant like you guys are, festivals is definitely a way for some significant exposure.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
I had one in here that did it was either 3 or 5 in one day in
Wow.
down in
Dang.
Mexico, and
That's crazy.
I was just like, wow,
Wow,
that's
yeah.
but you know, you figure there's a couple thousand people at every one of them,
Yeah.
Exactly.
so you know that's a lot of people to get in front of.
Yeah.
Big exposure.
Where's your favorite place to play in Tucson?
In Tucson.
I'd say either Rialto or 191 Tool. Those are like 2 of the bigger venues in Tucson, but we play those a decent amount, I would say, like every couple months maybe. But they're really fun, really cool stages. Usually like we can get a decent amount of people to show up too, especially 191 Tool because it's a slightly more like intimate venue kind of. So when there's a lot of people, it feels packed and it's really high energy.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to agree with that. When we played for when we opened up for ZZ Top, that was at
actually.
the Linda Ronstadt Center down in Tucson.
Okay.
And it was it's connected to the TCC, the Tucson Convention Center. It's kind of like a sister venue as well. And I mean, not that we play there. That was like the only time we played there.
Now
But
that you mentioned that, I mean, that would be super, super awesome. Like, if we played there a couple more times, that would definitely be my favorite venue. But
Yeah,
just because we've only played there once, I don't know if I can really say that. So,
Right.
but yeah, I'd say
Well,
I'd say
and it's that's more for the bigger touring
Yeah.
acts to come through. As far as like local spots.
Yeah,
like if we can get some more like opening stuff there, that would be really awesome. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'd say definitely for sure Rialto and Tool. They're pretty cool.
What about up here?
Up here?
Or anywhere else as well. I don't know if you've been to Prescott or
we
anywhere
have,
else.
we did a festival in Prescott actually.
Okay.
That was really cool. Yeah,
that was fun. We've been to we always kind of go back for like certain holidays and stuff to New Mexico.
Okay.
Silver City.
Yeah,
Silver City, New Mexico. There's a little bar there called what is it? The Silver Toad or
Little Toad.
The Little Toad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always get
yeah.
that confused. But
Little Toad.
The Little Toad, and it's just a little bar, but they always have so much cool things that they do for like the holidays and like say St. Patrick's Day or Oktoberfest or anything like that. And it's a small town. So whenever we walk in there, everyone knows who we are.
It feels like we're famous.
Yeah, so it's super fun when we go there. Everyone knows who we are and know our names. They come to see us play. Yeah. So I would say that's like a very favorite spot.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah,
really
and
awesome.
because they dance they dance so weird there, man.
In a good way.
In a good way. Yeah. So it's super entertaining.
Very entertaining to watch, and gives us a boost up on stage.
Okay. Where do you like to play here in the Valley when you come up?
Just thinking that.
Yeah,
We play so many places in Phoenix. It's hard to think. I mean, the State Fair.
That was really cool.
That's super fun.
For the last like 2 years, we've done like a residency there, so we'll be there playing. 3 shows, two or three shows every day, over like four different days. It's really fun.
Wow.
Yeah. Can you think of another?
I'm trying to think.
I like the Rebel Lounge.
Oh yeah, that was
Rebel
fun.
Lounge is a cool little venue. I mean, kind of anywhere, it's just kind of fun to be.
Westworld, I guess we played there a couple times for like Bike Week, and a couple days ago Sammy Hagar. That was super cool.
Oh yeah, that like I told you all before we started this. That was one I was trying to push the button on. And I'm like, oh man. So, if you could play anywhere in the world, where would it be?
I mean, I feel like we all three of us have a little bit of a different view on that. For me personally, and it's always been since I was like 12, Red Rocks. Okay. Red Rocks Amphitheater. That's just like, I don't know. To me, it's just so cool with the, you're kind of up in the mountains and with all the rocks and
that's pretty cool.
That's definitely a destination I would really love to play for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean it's such a great question because like a few years ago, on the local level, a dream place to play would be the Rialto. So I feel like that was like, oh my gosh, like we're playing the Rialto, But yeah, I mean there's all these places like Red Rocks and like Madison Square Garden where like every artist dreams of playing and everything. But like I know we technically did play it, but the Footprint Center.
Oh yeah.
We played for a halftime show at a Suns game. But like I think that'd be so cool to open up for whoever it is and have a show there because that's like our local big arena.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, and it's crazy like that's, I've seen some concerts there and stuff and it's crazy to think that we played that,
Yeah.
And if we could play that again, that would be super awesome.
Yeah, so I'd have to say maybe Footprint Center or even the State Farm Stadium, right? Would be cool too.
Yeah, I can't think of any like specific venues I would say would definitely be like, most on my bucket list, but my biggest dream is to leave the country and do something, at like a bigger, arena or something. That would be really cool. Yeah. Do like an arena out in like Europe or something, European tour,
Wembley
tour the world.
arena.
That would be my dream.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, let's talk Up Unknown before we get to that song. Tell us about that.
You want to start this, Adrian?
Yeah, I mean, this is a fun one. So I didn't really get to mess with wah pedals until Unknown, basically, and so that intro is just all is wah completely off and then coming on. And so that kind of inspired that entire song. Yeah. I was messing around with wah pedals like myself, and I was like, messing with the open chord, and then I came up with the riff, and it just kind of fell into place. That
piece it together.
You had the riff, and then we played something on top of it, and it just became came like that. I don't think it was as quick as Phil.
No, I think it took a couple practices for sure.
But yeah, I feel like we were like, okay, this is definitely gonna be a song, you know, because not all jams turn to songs, of course. So
Right, absolutely. What about lyrics? How'd you do those?
Yeah, so that was it's kind of interesting because I write kind of weird. I write kind of I guess how I would like. I don't know. I write weird. I write weird. So some people might not really understand what I'm necessarily talking about, but I do. So but it was basically about like I mean it's hard to say because it's kind of personally, yeah, I personally don't love to. I mean, I'll talk about it, but I don't love to talk about like what the lyrics mean or exactly specifics because I kind of like someone to kind of come up with their own situation or their own interpretation of it. But it was kind of about being stuck, not really knowing what to do. It's kind of like songwriter's block, I guess you could say, and then songwriter's block mixed with like how people have treated us throughout our like musical careers. So it's kind of about that. But I kind of like people to take it for what they think. That's
all right.
I mean, that's just kind of my personal thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, with that being said, here's Znora with Unknown right here on the Yeti Radio, live in the Backstage Lounge. Back in the studio with Znora right here on the YetiRadio.com. Awesome song.
Oh, thank you.
Can't wait to hear the rest of the album, which is coming out when?
January 31st.
January 31st. And you're having a party.
We are having a party. Yeah, we're so it's down at the Rialto that we were talking about in Tucson, and it's us with a couple other cool bands, and I mean it's just gonna be a party, man. We're gonna release our album. We're gonna come out with new stuff, new merch,
new CDs.
Yeah. So and then we have like a fun little pre-party that's gonna happen beforehand with everyone, all the bands, and whoever gets there, I guess. But yeah, so it's definitely gonna be super fun. A really cool show for sure.
Awesome. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How'd you come up with the logo for
the Zonora logo? So I drew that actually. So it's kind of inspired by Aztec, kind of like Aztec snakes and stuff like that. And I basically just drew it, and obviously it's in the shape of a Z, right? So the first logo didn't have Znora on it. Yeah. It was Z and then Nora, but people kept getting confused. And Nora? Yeah, you guys are Nora and didn't understand that like the snake was the Z. So
that's understandable.
Yeah, and it's understandable, of course. Yeah, but
absolutely.
But so that's why it's kind of in the weird shape that it is. And I just drew it. I drew it a long time ago.
I understand the dilemma, even though it says the Yeti Radio. Everybody just calls it Yeti Radio.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see. I was going somewhere with that, and then I lost it.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, right. If you could collaborate with anybody, past, present.
Past or present?
Mm-hmm.
Me. Like, do you know? It depends, cause like it needs to be a good fit too.
Yeah.
Like I love like Chili Peppers, but maybe necessarily wouldn't be the best.
Yeah.
Fit. It just
I mean,
depends, you know.
Yeah, I guess
maybe not necessarily as a band. But,
yeah.
If you want to collaborate with another drummer to learn.
Oh yeah, I mean. If it's
or another musician that you want to, somebody you want to play drums for.
Wow, even this is a broad question now.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like, I would have to say Led Zeppelin just because of the amazing creativity and their songwriting, and I would just want to understand their process and kind of pick their brains a little bit about just, that. Everything to do with Led Zeppelin. Yeah. I mean, I feel like that might be a generic answer, but I would really like to sit down and talk to them and have tea or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. What came to my head, I was thinking was like definitely like Hendrix. Like I don't even know how I would feel if I was in the same room as Jimi Hendrix, dude. But doing anything with Hendrix would have been amazing. It's so sad that that he died so early, because I've listened to like his last album and stuff, and I think he was starting to go into more of like a funk rock kind of psychedelic direction. I think that's really cool. I really wish maybe I could have saw him or met him or contributed some way to his process or learned from him or anything to do with him. That would have been really cool.
Awesome.
I don't know.
Justin,
I'm like, I don't know, like.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah. Like 5 questions there, and I'm like, I don't know an answer to one of them. To be honest. Like, yeah, I agree with what you guys said.
All right. We'll leave that one at that.
Yeah. Or now that I'm thinking, like, current, if there was someone current, like Lenny Kravitz, I think would be really, really cool too. Because we've been playing some Lenny Kravitz covers and stuff, and I'm really enjoying it. And his new stuff that's come out is pretty cool, and he's just a really cool guy. I really like his style, so that would be really awesome also.
Awesome. Let's see. What's the best and worst thing about being a musician?
Well, I can say the worst is the money.
Yeah, I was literally thinking that right now. Unless you're like super worldwide famous, yeah, you're probably not making that much.
No, I'm just kidding. It's not all about that either. You know, we have so much fun no matter what.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I'd say the best is audience interaction, or to see that they're digging it, or they're dancing, or they're really loving it. To me, that's like everything. I love to entertain people. I always have, even though when I was little I was decently shy, which I'm not really anymore, but yeah, I would always love to entertain like my family or my grandma or something, put on like little shows, and so I really find joy, and that's like definitely the coolest thing for me, is to help other people find joy, I guess you could say, in you know, our music and all that good stuff. So
yeah, I think for me, like, my favorite part about it is just the art aspect of it. You know, it's a way for us to, you know, create some sort of art that hopefully people, you know, can feel some sort of certain emotions to. It's all an expression, kind of. So it's really awesome to be able to do something, you know, professional enough that's also, you know, from our hearts.
Yeah, I would say the best for me is like seeing how the audience reacts. Definitely, like after shows, we'll be like, "Yo, did you see that person?" and like how much they were liking it, or did you see that person and like how much they didn't like us? You know, so we really take it to heart. And one of the worst things is definitely after the show, because you usually want to play more, and you're like, "Oh, like I feel like we could have got them to like us even more if we had like 2 more songs." Or then you know, the tearing down is always the worst.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'd say the worst thing is just the schedule. You know, a lot of shows are at night.
Yeah, and or like early in the morning. Like today, well, actually, starting yesterday, we had a show that ended probably 9. By the time we were done breaking everything down, it's 10, and we got to eat food. You know, so by the time we ended up going to bed, it was probably like. Midnight to 1 a.m. And our show this morning, we had to wake up at 4:30 to get there, so that was pretty rough. Definitely got to drink some coffee before that.
So yeah, I guess I would just say the schedule, and considering how much we play and how much we go all over the place and to different places, I would say that just the constant moving. Like it's fun, but it also is very, very chaotic and kind of a chore, I guess you could say. I mean, that we love it though, but you know.
Well, like, I'm sure when we get to the point of actually, like, you know, going on like a whole tour across the country, it would be like super amazing, and I would love it, but that's got to take a big toll on you. You know, you're gonna be so tired afterwards, I'm sure. You're just exhausted from playing every single night for maybe a week, 2 weeks, months, maybe even like some bands go for like years.
I know, yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, and that being said, there was one of the talent shows that's been on TV for however long. At one point in time, they were actually putting the contestants through that. The getting ready for the next day up until 2 or 3 in the morning, and then up at 5 or 6 to start getting ready for the day, and letting them know this is what it's like. It's everybody thinks it's all glitz and glamour.
I know.
And it's not. There's a lot of hard work in it.
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, as much, I mean, there's some bands that play a lot more than we do. Yeah. But I would say we do a decent amount.
We try our best.
Yeah, I mean, this last year, we played like.
I want to say like.
We did
126 shows.
We did like
over
6 states or 6 states. Yeah, definitely. 29 cities, which I mean is a decent amount, I'd say, for just a little local band from Tucson, but yeah,
absolutely.
It's super fun, but I would say that the hard work for it.
Being a musician definitely takes some sacrifices, but I think it's very worth it for, you know, us.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Like, even big bands, you know, they tour for like 3 months, but in total their actual playing time was like, you know, like, I don't know, 24 hours, but like over 3 months of touring or something.
Yeah,
you know?
it's a lot of work for a 1 hour show. That people don't really think about, that goes, like, you know, behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And for us, of course, we do a bunch of different types of shows. So like we might have a 2-hour show, or a 3-hour like bar gig, say, or just an hour just purely our own originals and stuff at a venue that we can just blast it out. So it's definitely hard when you're doing all of those different types of gigs back to back, for sure. Like if you're coming from, like, say we well, I mean, this weekend, like we did,
Yeah.
we did 20 minutes at Barrett Jackson for Sammy Hagar,
Yeah,
and then we did
Next day we did 3 hours at the mall in Tempe
Right.
Marketplace.
and then today we did basically
2 hours.
like 2 hours. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
What was today's show?
Oh, it was for
like?
the Arizona Rock and Roll Marathon. So it's like they have a bunch of bands set up at each mile of the marathon, and all the runners run by, watch the bands for a second, maybe take like a picture or something. But we're mostly there to cheer them on and encourage them to keep going, make it to the end. Yeah. It's
Okay.
really fun.
And play music for the bystanders?
Yeah, they're definitely those two. Yeah.
Yeah,
All
no,
the
it-
people standing around to the side to hand out water cups, and it's we're there to cheer them on too.
Yeah,
Right.
we've done it for we've done it for like 4 years now. It's
Okay.
it's just fun. I mean, the only thing that sucks about it is they close off the road, so we have to get
Oh,
there.
yeah,
like
that's
I
kind of a
said,
headache.
like 4:30 in the morning. But it's super fun. It's just like at each certain mile post or wherever, they have stages and they have live music, which I think is really cool because
That's
it's
really
all
awesome.
about like running with live music going by instead of listening to your headphones or
Right.
whatever that
Yeah.
needs to.
It's not just Arizona too. They have it in like Las Vegas.
We
did
had
we
one in
actually-
San Diego.
Yeah,
like-
over the summer.
Yeah.
So it's at least in a few states.
Right.
yeah, I'm sure they have them.
Yeah.
That sounds
decent amount
cool.
of them.
Yeah, no, it's a cool little thing. Yeah.
Do they have any requirements on songs? You play originals or
Yeah, we do originals and covers.
Yeah, because
2 hours?
yeah, well, and for something like that, we'd want to play like an original that they'd like, or I mean a cover that they'd like.
Yeah, get 'em
so that
pumped
when they're
up.
running by, they're like, oh, I know that song.
Like,
I'm like,
oh, yeah,
yeah,
that's
we're running. So we kind of, in general, when we do longer gigs that are like say 3 hours or something like that, we'll mix in like covers and originals.
Yeah.
To like keep the audience
Yeah,
interested.
Draw them in.
But then also show them that we have like our originals and want to show
Right.
and share our
Yeah.
own stuff, because
Okay.
it's definitely really hard as an original rock band,
Yeah.
instead of like a cover
You gotta
band
get people
or a tribute
interested
band
first
and-
before you
Right.
can really show them your
in
stuff.
today's day and age. Yeah.
Right. That's cool. Very cool. Got to make a living
Yeah.
for sure. Being as young as you are in this career field, what do you consider a successful music career?
Wow. I mean, yeah, there's so many like levels of success. So it's hard to say, but I mean, being able just to have people come to a show just for us, like, I don't know. It really depends year by year too.
Yeah.
Like, success last year was like playing the Rialto, or we first
Yeah,
played
ZZ
it
Top too.
2023, I think. So like that was like, okay, this is success for us right now. We're playing the Rialto and we're selling 100 tickets or whatever, and now it's like we're headlining a show at the Rialto and selling hundreds of tickets. So I feel like it's like a process, not really like a one final destination. I don't know.
Yeah. For me, I think I'd say like as like a final destination of success is kind of just being able to make a living off of your own original music. That's what I think would be success to me. Being able to go around and do tons of shows in places where we've never played before, but we can get a bunch of people to show up and that already like know our music and really like us and stuff. That would be the end goal of success for me, I think.
Yeah, like going across the nation, people know who we are.
Yeah.
It's like, holy crap. We're
Yeah,
doing something.
or like if we get really famous, going to like another country. Imagine we go to like Australia and that gets packed out. They're like, oh my gosh, it's Znora. That would be really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would agree with Johnny. And I would say like success to me is like in this certain field, I would say 100% just having people, having a following,
Yeah.
to where no matter wherever we go, that it will be able to play for people and have like an audience and people enjoy our stuff,
Right.
reach as many people as we can.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like kind of success to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. If you weren't doing music, what would you be doing?
That's a good question.
Yeah, well, I'm at the U of A. I'm a biology student, which I want to do music, but yeah, I guess I would be a scientist. So I don't know. I'm getting that degree right now, so yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I've always kind of been interested in arts. So if it wasn't music, it would probably be some other form of art. I'm not sure exactly what that would be. It could be like, like painting or like being an author or writing stuff. But some sort of way I can express myself, I'd probably do that. Or I'm also very interested in some science stuff too. I think that's pretty cool. So that's also maybe a possibility. If I didn't do music, maybe I'd go into like some sort of like space stuff or like quantum stuff. I think is pretty interesting too. It's crazy.
Yeah, I would say
Quantum's a deep hole.
Yeah. I'm looking at it like I can't even understand this, but it's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I've always so my family is they do aviation. Aviation is a big thing in my family, my mother's side of the family, and my uncle and grandpa, they have a little tourist kind of situation where they fly people around Bryce Canyon up in Utah.
Okay.
And they're just very heavily into aviation. So I guess I would say maybe doing something with that. Plus, like, if I get my own personal pilot's license, then I could just go wherever I want.
That would be pretty cool.
That would be pretty fun. No, but either aviation, and I've always been into bugs, entomology.
Okay.
That stuff really fascinates me because I mean they're little aliens.
It's strange.
They're
dude.
little aliens.
It's crazy.
They're weird little things. So I guess I would either do something along those lines.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really awesome. What's the best advice you've been given as a musician?
Don't get married.
I mean, I could definitely see how that would be beneficial.
Don't have kids.
Yeah, that's probably the advice we got the most.
Yeah,
And
honestly,
also-
or just to keep going.
Yeah, I was
Which,
gonna say
yeah,
the other like probably realistic answer is like people are always like don't give up, which is it seems like like we're not gonna give up, but so many bands at the local level break up or they get a new guitarist and then they're not the same band anymore. You know?
Like,
it's like
I feel like that's part of the reason why people sometimes don't get bigger. It's because they're always changing out members. You can't grow that connection and grow your skill together. Or people are always just breaking up their bands. If you just keep going, I'm sure even if you don't find success now, maybe in the future you will. It's a process of growing, seeing what you did wrong, and trying to do better.
Well, being the fact that I'm significantly older and have a little different experience, the bands of the past that still played together but absolutely hated each other's guts.
Yeah.
People would fly in on different planes, stay on different floors of the hotel, if not different hotels, different limo rides, different dressing rooms, because they just couldn't stand to be around each other. But what they did on stage was just mind-blowing.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and for what I do, I used to do band pictures.
Yeah.
And I got away from doing band pictures because they kept changing. And so it's now, unless you're going to come in and do an interview, and if I can't find an updated, I'll ask for one. But that's the only time I'll put faces to a band name, because it's changing a lot.
Right. Yeah.
But I think continuity and the way you start, for me as a fan of music, if you change a person, it's going to change. It's like changing the ingredient in the recipe.
100%.
So,
yeah.
No matter what, you should try and stick it out.
Yeah.
But I know some people you just can't. It's not. No matter what, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But
It's
we're worse than a marriage.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That's why they say don't get married.
Exactly.
You're already in a worse situation. So.
Yeah, we're already married to each other, so.
How do you deal with musical blocks, writer's block?
I mean, it's. I mean, for me, it's just mental. I have to just say like, well, I mean, for me personally, I'm always such like I'm such a hypocrite of myself, and so whenever I'm writing something, I'll be like, this has to be the perfect it can be. This has to be the best thing that I've ever created. I'm such a perfectionist. So whenever it comes to something like that, I feel like that's kind of my form of writer's block, where I'm like, this could be so much better. This could be like just so much better than I think that I'm coming up with, right? But I think to myself that, you know, how I get over it is I think that not every song is gonna be like the greatest that it could be. And I just have to keep going and keep writing, and then eventually, hopefully, some of these songs would connect with other people.
Yeah, like if you spend 5 years or something working on a song, it might be a really good song when it's all done, but that's 5 years where you haven't released any like music, and so you're not gonna have a few songs that you think are really great. It's if you put all your effort to one.
Yeah, I mean, I was also gonna say having deadlines helps.
Yeah,
too,
that does
you're
definitely
like,
help.
Okay,
Yeah,
we just need to get this done. Like sometimes we'll be like, okay, for every Rialto or when I do one Tool show, like we're like, okay, maybe let's add one new original, you know, because we do them every few months, sometimes even longer. So it's pretty reasonable to have a new song. So when we create deadlines like that, it's like, okay, we kind of have to, you know, and it makes it exciting for us.
Yeah,
when we get to play a new song, we're like, oh my gosh, you know, and it's fun.
Yeah, every new song that we do, it has some sort of energy to it, you know, just because it's new, it's so much more fun. It's so much more energetic and exciting to play.
Yeah.
Well, this, a friend of mine and I did a little bit of research, and we seemed to come up with a generic figure of about 3 to 5 years, way back when bands started, before anything really happened, because they were concentrated on that first album. Everything was push, nothing for 3 to 5 years until they were ready. And then, of course, then there are the unicorns, Motley Crue, you know, the overnight sensations.
Yeah.
So, but everybody else had to put a whole shit ton of work into it.
Yeah.
So, if there's anything in the music industry that you could change,
maybe promotion of like newer artists, I would say. Like in the charts right now, it's a lot of the same artists who are getting, you know, top 50 most listened to songs, which makes sense. They're already famous and people know who they are, and they already have like a huge fan base, so they're gonna keep getting listens and everything. But it'd be cool if more local stations played, you know, local artists and stuff like that. Like, I mean, Motley Crue wasn't always, you know, a huge band. They were a local band at one point. So like stuff like that. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that. I would say it's such a, I mean, anybody can upload basically anything now at this point, you know, in music. Anybody can make anything and upload it. So I feel like original anything has kind of been, it's kind of been pushed away, kind of been like, oh, you're an original band, oh, we don't want to hear that. It's, you know, we want to hear something that we already know, or it's probably not good, or something like that. I feel like that's kind of the mentality in an industry right now. They kind of want, I don't know. I just that's something I would change. I would say more love to original
creation
bands and original creation, because I think there was something that I saw the other day where it was like Fleetwood Mac's Rumors album was like the top rock album of 2024.
Like that came out like 50 years ago.
And that's like older than we are. And like I'm not saying anything bad about Fleetwood Mac's anything. Like, they're amazing. It's just anything new is kind of frowned upon. It feels like. And I would say I would try to change that, try to support more, not necessarily just local, but support more original bands, because not everything's crap. You know,
just gotta give it a chance.
And I can tell you personally, I've caught the same flack because somebody said, "Well, why should I listen to your radio show? I've got Pandora. I can listen to what I want to listen to."
Exactly.
Well, okay, you're listening to what the monster's feeding you.
Yeah,
that's up to you.
Exactly.
You want something new, something fresh, come check it out. You don't have to listen to it all the time.
Yeah, just once in a while, you know.
But that's why my radio station doesn't exist anymore, because I paid for it for 12 months.
Yeah.
And I paid for 1,500 total listening hours a month, and I don't think I had 1,500 for the year. So, it's not cost effective for me.
Right.
Pull the plug, and now I just do interviews and shows. I do the shows when I can.
Which is sad. Like, it should not be like that. It should be where people are like, yes, let's get these new artists in. Let's get some new stuff, I mean, like I said, I feel like it's just gotten such a bad rap that everyone's like, oh, we'll just stick to our popular songs that we've heard.
Stick to what we know.
Exactly.
Yeah, and like we've all talked about it before. When we get to that level where maybe we can have many opening bands and all over the country and stuff. If we're touring, we want to get to meet them, see if we can help them out in any way. Because I feel like music should be a thing where everyone's trying to help out each other, so we can hopefully find more musicians, more bands that have good music. There's a lot of good bands, I'd say, that just they don't have that promotion, so you're never gonna hear about them. So we gotta find them and showcase them, show their art to the world.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. Mrs. Yeti and I just had a discussion on the worst human idiosyncrasy on the planet, and that's everybody wants to be number one.
Yeah.
And a lot of that's what keeps it from happening too.
Yeah.
There's no.
Because I mean, it's true. Like, none of that happens overnight. Absolutely not.
No.
Even if it feels like it randomly, like say, I would say like what Sabrina Carpenter, right? Like that's kind of like
for like 10 years.
Yeah, like that's kind of a to be honest, I don't know much about Sabrina Carpenter, but that's like a modern example, I guess I could say, where like it feels like she kind of came out of nowhere, right? Like everyone was like, wow, but no, she's been around and has been doing music for a long time.
Yeah,
so
right.
She just hasn't had that exposure yet.
So it just takes time, and it doesn't happen overnight, even though sometimes it feels like it. Yeah. Like you said, unicorns, like Motley Crue.
And you said it, exposure.
Mm-hmm.
But that falls back on the band too.
Yeah.
It does.
You have to go get to, again, the festivals.
Yeah. No, you have to promote yourself. You have to be an entrepreneur, basically. You have to work towards it, because if you just expect it to happen, nothing's gonna happen.
If you don't put in the work, you're gonna get drowned out by everyone else.
And I think that's why we've had, I would say, decent success.
Yeah,
I mean,
especially in the 5 years of the band.
I mean, not many 17-year-olds have opened up for ZZ Top. I just
right.
say.
Like you're saying, it takes like years, really, though, because like it's 2025. This is our 6th year as a band.
Oh.
6 years a band.
Yeah, basically.
6th year, yeah. So like it takes time,
Yeah.
Well, how long did you play your instrument before you decided to be in a band?
Was yours like 6 years? Like maybe like 7? You started.
I mean, yeah, it was. I would say it was basically the start of Zonora, because I started on bass and drums, and then I kind of started to move to guitar because nobody wanted to be like, and I didn't want, so nobody wanted to be like a front man, right? Or like the person that's like singing or up in the front with people that I would play with before, like Znora, before Josh and stuff like that. And so I was kind of like, well, if it needs to be done, like someone needs to be up there doing it, singing. And I never wanted to be what I'm doing right now, to be honest. I wanted to be a bassist or a drummer, just kind of chilling in the back, supporting whoever was doing the crazy stuff. But I mean, obviously I love it now, but it was never something that it was never something that I wanted to do. So it was definitely a cool, like, yeah. So I would say I kind of went off on a tangent there, but I would say but I would say I kind of started. I mean, I've always had a love for music, but I kind of started around Znora, getting that when the start of Znora, and kind of putting that together. I was like, I wanna do this. I wanna really commit to this and get as good as I possibly can be. So so I would say like 6 years at this point. Yeah, I mean, and at the start, and especially COVID, like we didn't like really do much. Like I would say we'd have a show like once a month, which obviously that would be like horror to us now. But so I would say, like, realistically, like, I've been playing the guitar for like 6 years, but not super consistent and as like I could be much better. I will always be able to get much better than whatever I am right now, you know. So it definitely, yeah. So I'd say 6 years then, but
Okay.
And I started on bass, like, to be honest, not very
Like when you joined
yeah,
us?
not very long before I joined joined Znora. I joined Znora like 2 years ago, so I probably have like maybe most 2.5 years of bass experience. But we play so much, and I try to practice my best at home. So I've definitely grown a lot in the last 2 years. Like when I tell people I've only been playing for 2-ish years, they're like, "What? You sound like you've been playing for like 10."
Yeah.
It's really awesome. But it's funny that Adrian's he started on bass and went to guitar. Because I actually started on guitar and went to bass. So before I joined, I had a couple years of guitar experience. That's how me and Adrian met. Because we had the same guitar teacher.
Okay.
But he knew I had the drive, and it's something I would have really loved to do to join. And so I did, and I picked it up and tried my best to learn as much as I can. And I think I did a pretty good job, just because we play multiple shows every weekend. A practice at least once a week we try. So it's definitely a lot of hours at this point.
Guaranteed, for sure.
Yeah.
So what do we got coming up in the future? What's coming up for Znora?
I mean, the next biggest thing is, January 31st, our album release. But for me, I think our next goals should just be get on, more festivals, more high exposure things, and release more music. Just create more.
Yeah.
Other than the party, you got any more other shows booked yet?
We have a decent amount, but I'm trying to think of our bigger.
Not before the album release, because we also don't want to play.
We don't play in Tucson
a bunch in Tucson right before the album release, because people are like, "Oh, I'll just go to that instead,"
Yeah.
Right.
Hopefully, people would want to go to both, or the album release for sure. But it's hard sometimes to get people to go to two shows in a short time span, of course. But after that, I'm not sure. It's kind of like
we're figuring it all out still.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of as it comes. It's kind of, I mean, some things are booked in advance. Like we have a cool show in Sholo coming up for the 4th of July.
Okay.
And it's just like a big thing for the city of Sholo.
Yeah, they hired us.
That Mr. Sholo himself hired us. No. Yeah, so that's something like definitely was booked in advance. Like it was booked a long time ago. But I guess we're kind of like a work as hard as possible, work on original music, and see what happens.
Us.
Kind of as it comes, kind of situation too.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than the Rialto, nothing like insanely crazy that I can think of. Yeah.
Off the top
Awesome.
Of my
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Znora, all the way from Tucson, and thanks for coming in. I really appreciate it.
Of course,
And it's always hard to try and get the bands from Tucson to come up. And your weekend played out the way I would like it to. I don't want anybody to come from Tucson all the way up here just to do an interview with me. I don't think I'm there yet, personally. But again, harder on myself than anybody else could ever be. But
same.
Yeah.
I think there's at least one band that's not happy with me because I wouldn't, because that's what they wanted to do, and it makes me feel bad because I don't, it's not there.
Yeah.
And if you're coming up here and going to be here for a day or two and want to swing in, definitely do everything I can to make it happen like this. So I just want to make it easier, especially
thank you.
Inflation and
Yeah.
the price of gas and
Yeah. I mean,
even though some things are starting to come down a little bit, we'll see what the future holds.
Hopefully, we'll see.
And maybe it won't be so bad. But again, we'll just wait and see what happens.
Yeah, of course. I mean, this place is pretty cool.
Well,
It's
thank
cool in
you.
here.
Awesome. And glad you came and glad you enjoyed.
Yeah, of course.
Glad you had
Thank
us.
you for having us.
Closing it out, here's Znora with Only One Son right here on the Yeti Radio in the Backstage Lounge. That's Znora with Only One Son right here on the Yeti Radio in the Backstage Lounge. I want to thank them again for coming and joining me and hanging out and getting to tell their story and let everybody know who they are, because that's what we do here at the Yeti Radio. And but check it out and check out all the social media. I don't know what platforms people are staying on and not staying on. And the Yeti Radio at gmail.com. You guys got your email address?
Oh, yeah, I can shout out our socials. We have Instagram, Facebook, Znora_band. And also Apple Music, Spotify, which is just Znora.
Yeah, and our email would it's ZONORAband@gmail.com. So if anyone's interested.
Awesome. Thank you again. And stay tuned and have fun. Come back and see us again anytime. Anytime you're going to be up here and you want to come, got something new going on, you want to come tell everybody about, feel free to hit me up.
It'd be awesome to be back.
Yeah, maybe we'll do like an album, like kind of show coordinated with Phoenix, because that's also where another big area of our supporter base is, Phoenix.
Right.
So.
Alrighty. Thank you again. And everybody have a great one. See you on the next one going around.
The Yeti Radio, powered by DavidLeeImaging.com. David Lee Imaging in the Titletown Music Archive and the Live 365 app. Welcome to the Backstage Lounge on the YetiRadio.com.